Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Monkavai here for MMOBomb.com, and welcome to our first impressions of Heva Clonia Online, a new MMORPG that's been developed by Playbusters in Korea and being published here in the West by OGPlanet. Now, Heva Clonia Online was originally released in 2009 in Korea and is sort of labeled as a casual anime-style MMORPG. First things first is we're going to create our character, and you may notice off the bat that 3 of the character slots are indeed locked, so you'll most likely have to purchase those 3 in case you actually want to use them. Now, being that the game is sort of in a pseudo open beta state right now that only lasts for about a month, obviously you're not going to be able to do that yet, but if you guys are interested in checking out the game, you can do so until the 30th just by visiting the official site on OGPlanet.com. So let's create our character here. First thing you may notice is that we have limited character customization options. That is because A, the game was originally released in 2009, and B, typically games that are sort of this anime style have this sort of restrictive hairstyle customization options, face style, and then usually you can change things like their cosmetic, starting pants and starting shirts. So I can put on little boy shirts if I want to. I can even put on a tank top. So as you can see, not really supposedly a super hardcore MMORPG. Not going to be doing raids, although there is a plethora of dungeons in Heva Clonia Online for you to actually explore. So let's go ahead and create our character here. I'm not going to go with the username. This guy looks like a Chad. Let's see, is Chad available? Chad is available. Alright, I'm going to be the first Chad in this game, Heva Clonia Online. Alright, so we're going to create our character Chad here. Now you may notice that Chad is a level 1 traveler. It didn't give you an option to actually select a class, and that is because Heva Clonia Online uses a sort of progressive class system where every time you level up to a certain level, you're able to choose a further specialized class. So it starts off as a novice, and then at level 10 you move up to the warrior, hunter, and magician classes that you can choose from. Beyond that, at level 30, you get things like the Knight, Berserker. Each class basically breaks down into 2 separate classes, and then that happens again at level 50. So by the time you get to level 50, you have quite a number of classes to choose from. It just takes a little bit of time to actually get that customization going. Alright, so we're going to start the game here. We're going to jump in. Now, usually, in my first look, I would just bypass the tutorial, because tutorials typically just show you, how to move or, how to attack things, etc. And while this tutorial does do this, this tutorial also shows you what the game is like at a max level, and sort of like the art style and some voice acting. So there's some Korean voice acting in the game as well. Chad goes in my dreaming. You're here alongside me. Ooh. Your future wife. No, I don't know. And we don't know who Kai is or anything like that. Currently a winged purple cat. Awesome. I need to awaken your soul to show you something. Please awaken my soul. Alright, so we're going to come up here to Iris, and as you can see, I can use the up, down, left, right arrow keys to move around. And then my skills, AAS 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, are all bound on the left. So it's not really a mouse-based MMO. I mean, you can use the mouse to move around. Indeed, even looking at your character. Chad, you look pretty spiffy in that armor, bro. But it's sort of like Heroes Go or even Elsword in that you move left to right. That is typically how the levels and dungeons are built. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk to Iris here. It looks like it's going to teach us just how to attack. You can use X here to do basic attacks. And then your skills are bound, like I said before, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then there's AS WASDA stuff as well. You may notice that I also get access to combo abilities, which I can show you. By pressing one ability, it'll show you 2 extra keys you need to push. And sometimes those abilities will also give you further combos that you can then chain up to do even more devastating attacks. You can be interrupted during those, and if you mess it up a couple times, you will sort of break that chain. You've come this far. A demon named Palor. I want to break the door so I can see you. So you notice that while the art style is of course a little bit dated, this game did come out in 2009, it does sort of have a nice aesthetic appeal to it. Something that I think a lot of MMORPGs don't do very well, at least early on. A lot of the monsters seem sort of like lifeless and styleless, if you will. So I can commend them on that. Alright, so I'm here and I'm using one of my AoE chain abilities. It's pretty easy. Again, you're not meant to have a challenge, it's just a tutorial. But if this is any indication of how the game is going to play a late game and how the dungeons and the enemies are going to look late game, it's certainly appealing, no doubt. Alright, so I gotta kill a seal jewel. Looks like just by crushing it with an ability. I'm gonna break some seals, I guess. There's an interesting amount of sort of attention to detail, if you will, from the game. This game that, you know, does have some date behind it. You know, it's not the most aesthetically appealing game out there, but the game is sort of self-aware of itself and doesn't take itself too seriously. You'll notice later on, you know, a lot of the characters will say silly things or just, you know, funny things to listen to. There's even some platforming elements. As you can see, you can double jump up there. I can rotate the camera. You can also opt to go into the options here. Really quickly, I can go in the options and just set that camera to auto as well, which will automatically sort of move it across, and I don't have to worry about that. Oh, alright, let's move. So, beyond the combat being sort of not entirely just sit in one spot, although there is a lot of that, you can also, of course, clone. It's in the name, Clonia. You can clone dungeons and monsters that you find. Ah, here it is. Oh, it's so cute. Look at it. Your neck holds our freedom. Why does my neck hold your freedom? Alright, so let's go ahead and kill this thing. Now we can start using some of our more crazy abilities. I kind of wish that I could move around more when I'm doing my combo abilities. You sort of get locked in there because it does require your, you know, actual movement keys in order for you to do your abilities. So you can't do your specials here without first just locking yourself in a position, which can be a little bit frustrating, particularly when if you're trying to evade damage that's being cast by other monsters in the area. Easily enough defeated that guy, and then I just have to kill this with an ability, and again breaks these locks. So like I said before, oh, you're so cute. Look at you. I'm gonna zoom in here on your face. Look at, if I could just have you as a pet, you'd be the most adorable pet ever. Alright, enough of that. Let's go ahead and zoom back out of here. Pull off that menu. So you can clone the enemies you find in dungeons, which I'll show you later. I'll go over to my other character, which has gotten past this tutorial, and show you how that works. It works like it does in a lot of other sort of Korean or foreign-based MMOs that have a pet system, in that when you get a pet, oh yeah, by the way, there's human cannons. That's how you get from one area platform to another. Like I said, the game doesn't take itself too seriously. There's sort of like these interesting little dynamics or mini games that you can participate in all throughout the worlds and the lands. Alright, so we'll go ahead and come in here, looks like. Strike the lever and then defeat the guys on the platform. Alright. So you go to basically these stations once you've actually collected special little orbs that allow you to clone a particular monster. Alright, so let's go ahead and use these abilities then. Oh, looks like he wasn't close enough when I did it. Alright. So you go do that to actually clone those monsters. There we go. This one does a pretty amazing like AoE attack there. And he lost his head! Alright. Gotta kill this Dark Knight. Level 59 here. You have normal attacks as well. I think they cost a little bit less mana to actually perform. But typically I always try to use abilities that have combos because they tend to do the most damage. Alright, let's see here. I can use that special ability here, and it does a tremendous amount of damage there. Just absolutely crushes it. But I mean, I'm supposed to be overpowered here. This is a dream. Ancient Golem by destroying the Thunderstone. Originally when I did this, I actually didn't read those instructions, and so I just outright killed him himself. But apparently, in order to kill him, all you have to do is destroy a crystal. So I could have won this game a lot earlier just by killing one of those instead of fighting him directly. So, once you've gotten these little orbs or these items in order to clone a particular monster, you then take it to a cloning station with other items or regions necessary. And combining those allows you to incubate a new pet. Now, the pet itself can have its own abilities, stats, and it will level up independently and fight alongside you at one time. You can only have one pet on, though. Alright. Ooh, what am I fighting? A Blood Knight. Look at this guy. I mean, like, even the intro cinematics are sort of, like, really well done in the sense that it's a little bit old. It's dated for sure, but I can definitely see kids playing the game and sort of enjoying it, its style, its way of presentation. Because if the gameplay is solid, or if, you know, the story is solid, people can look past other sort of aspects of it that they find a little annoying. And we'll get to what I find annoying about the game shortly enough. Alright. So here's just another one of the bosses here. Again, if this is what we can expect from the late game, it can be pretty fun. I can imagine a lot of people on screen, especially because this game is supposedly very dungeon heavy, and that you can have a lot of dungeons with players actually doing that. Other notable features in the game in terms of social aspects, of course, you do get the options of forming guilds and forming parties. You also get the option of having a mate, if you will. The mate would be, oh yeah, this is a pretty awesome cutscene here. I mean, it's like things like that make it, you know, sort of enjoyable to play an MMO that obviously is not like next gen or anything like that. You know, little touches like that, little cinematic touches. This kind of reminds me of the sequence in Kingdom Hearts, to be quite honest, or it reminds me of the old JRPGs from the PlayStation 2 era.
당신이 그렇게 말한다면 나 또한 확신할 수 있을 것 같네요. 영원한 안식에서 당신을 깨운 보람이 있군요.
하지만 그 기운을 키우는 것은 스스로 해야 해.
So it's up to me to become stronger on my own, which basically means I start back at level 1 without any of the skills in order for me to actually rise to my potential so that I can defeat whatever incoming evil is upon this land. The Wheel of Destiny has made its selection. Spin it again! I don't want to be the Wheel of Destiny. The world contained this memory is beginning to collapse. I mean, it's got some nice music behind it as well. It certainly gets players pumped for whatever they're about to face. And then you face what the game is actually about once it starts. Alright, so now that you've sort of experienced with the tutorial what you can potentially see once you reach the max level, now you'll see how the game actually performs day to day. So you start off in this little central hub area where you can go and purchase things, you can go to different lands. All the lands are split up into separate worlds, and then the worlds themselves sort of operate the same way as that world did, where you loop around, you go from one area that you start with, and you make your way all the way to the other area here. Now, the first few quests here, as you can notice here, they're mainly about just sort of going everywhere and talking to specific people. So what we're going ahead and do, as much as I enjoyed my time with you, Chad, although we can kind of get a look at what other people have in terms of gear. Looking nice little helmet there. Looks like a bug. It kind of looks like a helmet for a bike with bug ears. So while this area here gives you a good idea of what you can expect from like the central hub area, why don't we go ahead and jump onto my other character, Chad. It was nice knowing you, so that we can show you what the actual gameplay in a typical world looks like. So after you've defeated whatever monsters were in your own mind, you come to the normal area here, which is the ominous bird's nest, and you defeat a lot of crabs and a lot of birds. That is essentially the gist of it. You'll notice here that I have a sea urchin, so cute. It just follows right behind me there, almost like a little Pokemon. Look at it there. It's pretty adorable, I have to say. And that's one of the things this game has, is it does have adorableness. This is the main sort of starting area here for levels, I believe, 1 through 5 or 1 through 4. I'm currently level 3 here, as you can see. And we started in this town right here and sort of progressed our way across. Now, currently, as according to my quest log, if we look I need to talk to Ted at Whirlpool Shore, and I must achieve an old book at Whirlpool Shore. Now, that is not the only... Okay, here it is, in progress. This is the actual quest I'm on. I need to kill this leader, Carthor, as well as spiked hermit crabs and blue hermit crabs. Now, I have to mention, I killed spiked hermit crabs and blue hermit crabs in some variation, whatever, at least 2 other times before I got to this point. I hoped by getting here, I would actually start doing different things other than killing things. But I haven't even gotten a chance to really collect any items. I've just been killing these guys. And unfortunately, that is sort of what I suspect most players will be doing for a large portion, at least for the first, 10, 15 levels. Because it is sort of that traditional Korean style MMO, or that's what players do for this kind of game. It has that sort of inherent grind. Now, one other little thing that annoys me is the fact that in order to get my actual sea urchin to attack, I have to hit F3, or I have to toggle the ability for them to auto attack. Off the bat though, it's not automatically toggled, and it doesn't tell you that you can simply select down here unless you look it up. That's one thing I should also talk about, is the fact that there's a lot of, oh, by the way, look at this guy. Let me zoom in here. I mean, look, he looks like he has two sets of eyeballs. He's got his one set of eyeballs here, his open mouth, and then it looks like his sockets act as other eyeballs, but I think those are nostrils. Alright. So, this guy has actually summoned his other mobs, and indeed, let's go ahead and get ourselves focused here. When you use any of your abilities, any monsters in front of you will actually get cleaved, so you do AoE damage here. And look how many, oh my gosh, look how many crabs he summoned. He summoned so many crabs. You may open something with this. Alright, well, can you just get off the screen? There we go. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and take out the rest of these little tiny crabs here. Apparently wild spiked hermit crabs. That's what they are. Alright, so we're going to pick those up. Now, if I actually bring open my inventory here, it looks like it said I got a quest item here, a strange looking pincer that can open suspicious treasure boxes. And there's some treasure boxes over here, so why don't we go ahead and walk up to one of those. Ah, here, open me with that pincer. Why are you telling me to open? You're a treasure box. You're not supposed to talk. Alright, so let's go ahead and open this. I'm a mysterious treasure chest. Open me. Thank you for telling me, mysterious treasure chest. Alright. So we've got ourselves some mysterious boxes here to open. Now, in order for me to do so, I can just hit I here to bring it open again. And I believe there is an item here I can then open up once more as a treasure box. Where did the treasure box go? Revive scroll, broken shell, some ingredients, some health potions. I don't know. Maybe I have to speak to you again. Alright. Oh, okay, you're going to give it to me. I see. So I had to open you, and then I had to finish the quest for you to actually give me what's inside. I gotcha. Alright, so I've gotten the treasure chests that were inside. I should be able to open them. Here we go. It's a gifts box. There's a treasure box there, which gives me Wakai. Double click to create a contained item, which is a helper sent by Kai to assist new adventurers in the aerial content. Use the item to extend period. Alright. I have a little helper above me now. How cute. And then I got a fruit that gives me bonus movement speed. Always nice. Alright, so now, oh, okay, so here's a fortune box, the ones that we actually got. Upon clicking on it, I can actually spin a wheel here to get a chance at different items. Sort of like little cash boxes, if you will. I suspect you'll be able to, ooh, newbie top earned. What did I get? A newbie top, defense plus 10. Doesn't really seem, it's requiring level 5, but I suppose it's not even as good as what I'm currently wearing at level 3. Okay, so apparently, you know, you can get some crap stuff in here. Alright, that's a little bit messed up. Alright, so what do we do now? Let's go ahead and bring this back open. Now, I should mention, if we want to look at our actual skills, we can do so just by going down here to skill info or hitting K. The skills themselves, you just go ahead and put them into individual slots. Again, since we're the sort of traveler, we don't really have option to a lot of skills, and won't have option to a lot of skills until we hit level 10 and really can diversify ourselves. So I'm just going to keep putting more points into dual attack because that's all I can. Looks like I can get quad attack. Move up from dual attack to quad attack here. At the next time I level, require level 3. Perhaps I just need more points. So that's all the skill points I have currently right here. I can dance, which is always nice. I'm going to go ahead and put that on my board. Always need a chance to dance. And what else is necessary for this quest? Let's see here. Quest info. Looks like I need to kill another blue hermit, 3 spiked hermits, in order to complete it. Alright, so again, it can get pretty tedious here. But before I go ahead and kill those things, I will show you other areas of this island so you can kind of expect what other types of monsters are available at the get-go. Alright, I have to continuously remember to use the C button to actually move. It's a little bit convoluted. You have F3 to have your pet attack, you have C to jump, X to attack as well, and then you've got A, 1, 2, 3, so your hands are all over the board. So you got these spotted little porky things here, and they'll actually sort of group up whenever you start to attack one. In fact, they'll even call their fathers at time, their father porkies, I guess you could say, to come defend them. So I wanted to see if I can get that to actually happen. It was funny because earlier I called I was fighting a spotted porky and he called 2 father, so it made me wonder whether or not there was a little bit of a LBGT relationship going on there, which, hey, if they want to promote that, that's all fine for me. Alright, so let's go ahead and kill this big guy. This guy right here. There he is. There's the dad Poco. You have a giant son here, if you notice. You must be so proud. Look, 2 dad Pocos. I got an unknown package as well. Alright, so let's go ahead and kill these things here, just to show you this area. But this is pretty much all I've faced for the first few levels here. A couple of different variations of crabs and these Pocos. Alright, so we'll come down here. Now, what is this? A helper. What do you actually do? You're just above me. I understand you're above me, but I'm not really sure what you do. Alright, kill that thing there. It looks like I need no more of the hermit crabs. I only need maybe these, the spiked ones. Alright. In reality, there's not too much more I can tell you about the game. There is a tips menu that did tell me a little bit more, but the game really doesn't have too much information available for it now. The official website has a small blurb saying that the game, has, dungeons and basically what I've told you so far, but there isn't really any more information available. There's barely any screenshots even. So most of what I've seen so far is what you could basically expect throughout the whole game, as far as I can see. But there is sort of like, I don't know, there's this level of polish or cuteness to it that I can definitely see players who enjoy, anime style and certainly like little humor here and there. I can definitely see people enjoying this style of gameplay, and it's not bad. Certainly is polished for what it is. It just is behind the times, if you will. I mean, the gameplay itself is very lackluster from a questing standpoint. But the dungeons may be better. Indeed, it may get better as you get level up. You saw how it was at level 60. If everything at level 60 is like that, that wouldn't be a bad experience for everybody. I just feel like it's going to be hampered by players having to go through this really repetitive process trying to get to that, which is something I think a lot of sort of foreign MMOs really have. They sort of tout these really cool features and what you can expect at level 60, but then getting there is just so much of a chore. Alright, so I need to talk to Ted at Whirlpool Shore, which is right down here, it looks like. So I can just rotate the camera if I so choose so, but because I have the auto camera on, it'll pan back to the side. If I disable it, I'll be able to do so. One other nice little feature I did want to point out here, this not really a gameplay feature, but something I thought was cool, is the music player. So if I wanted to, I can hit apply here, and this will actually place a music player I can put anywhere on the screen, and I can load music into a particular file and actually listen to music while I play. Now, of course, a lot of people use like Spotify and different sort of applications to stream music, but if you have like a folder full of music, you'll be able to just put it in there and then play and control it without actually having to get out of the game, which is quite a nice feature. It's something that you wouldn't expect out of most MMORPGs, particularly one like this. Alright, so go to use that. Challenge button to start bonus game. Alright, so I'll hit the challenge button. Choose rock, paper, or scissors. I will choose rock. Tied. Alright, let's challenge again. What are we going to do? I'm going to choose that, and it looks like I won experience. Nice. So I can challenge again. Oh, I lost. But I get to get some experience there. So there's little mini games like that you can experience at different times. Nice little things to sort of break up the action. If only, what? Look at those things. That octopus, what are you even doing on land? Shouldn't you be going to the water? Look, okay, this guy has the right idea. He's going in the water. I don't know what you guys are doing on land. Little baby octopuses and then large octopuses. But alright, guys, that's going to go ahead and be my first impressions here of Heva Clonia Online. If you guys want to know more about the game, do check it out below at MMOBomb.com for the full game profile. There is other things, like I mentioned, in terms of the social aspect of the game. There is the ability to have a couple, so you can have a relationship, which is available in other MMORPGs. And you can also have the guild. The guild experience will also increase, giving you certain guild bonuses and boosts. And then, of course, the normal friends list as well. You even get an option here under Clone Codex to actually collect all the clones. It's almost like a Pokemon-esque kind of thing, where you can see each individual, clone, what you have. And as these clones expand, as you get more and more, you'll have more and more of these pages and kind of see all their different separate abilities, what they're capable of, etc. If I pull up in my character window here really quick, you'll see what I am, all my different stats and attributes here. And then if I go actually to my clone, you'll be able to see his current health, HP, his experience level, his abilities, and even glyphs, so you can change how he actually behaves in terms of his abilities. adding items to them. Those are, again, really sort of basic things that are available in any sort of game that offers a pet system, a progressive pet system. But I don't really think the pet system is going to be what players are attracted to with this game. I certainly think it's going to be more on the style and sort of like the charm of the writing, if anything. But alright guys, like I said before, this has been Spunkify. I'll see you guys next time. Spunkify out. Later guys.